We'll get started. Okay, topic number one. We're going to go around go around, and
Oops.
back in 2000 on the Colorado Medal E list, I saw a post saying it is I, Maris the Great. I felt like Bull Shannon on Night Court. Okay, and the I did not meet him in person until the Soiled Dove at a music business meeting next year. It was very brief. But when I met him for real is when Pinky's got the stage built in 2003.
Wow.
And I drank enough Bacardi and Pokes to work up the courage. And I read his review of Switchpin and Throw Culture magazine that made my ribs hurt so bad from laughing. I told him, Pinky's has a new stage. It's built. You ought to come check it out. Plus, my cock is 11 inches long. Come see us. And sure enough, he emailed back, and that weekend, him and his manager, Rainie Kelso, came in. We met. I introduced him to my bosses. They booked the show. The Maris's first show back in January 2004 was the biggest grossing night in Pinky's history. That's how I met him. Um, Cassie, we will begin with you. When did Rainey start working with Maris, and when did you discover you were going to have a gay undead uncle?
Fuck, that's a loaded question. So we kind of have to backtrack here a little bit. So I was born and raised in New Jersey, and
Mhm,
my mom had a company called Froggy Entertainment.
mhm,
And with that being said, we decided that moving to Colorado was a good thing for me, just with like my school, because I was going to a really rough high school. Basically, where I grew up was like where The Sopranos was filmed, if that makes sense to anybody.
mhm,
And so my mother was basically Carmela Soprano as well.
mhm,
So, with that being said, my mom was listening to I guess it was like an internet radio at the time called Bumsky.com.
mhm,
And so she met a very good family friend of ours named Mark Canton Soretti, who was in a band called Cecil Park.
mhm.
And she decided, okay, I love Colorado. Denver's great. Let me go make a couple visits. And like, hey, let's try to get the daughter out there. Let's get her convinced. And obviously, fucking love Denver. I'm sold. I just moved back to Denver almost a year now, so I'm stoked. And with that being said, she just wanted to take her entertainment company of what she was doing in Jersey and move it out to Colorado.
Mhm,
And with that being said, I just vaguely remember her going, from what she told me, to a show, I believe, at the Ogden Theater, just kind of
mhm.
getting used to the metal community, seeing what's going on. And she sees this freaking weird ass zombie. She's like, what the fuck are you? So she's like, what the fuck are you? I don't know what this is. So, like, I remember her coming home telling me, like, I just saw this zombie at a show. I don't know what's going on. And my first interaction with Maris, and I can get more into this later on, not ever thinking that I'd be getting a gay zombie uncle, but my life is a fucking shit show, so I'm not surprised. So with that being said, this man is so committed to being in character, he shows up eventually to my house wearing a Captain Crunch mask because he is so committed to his character. And not to mention, this man taught me how to drive and get my driver's license in a Captain Crunch mask.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's my story,
Wow.
and I'm sticking to it. So, and he's like my big gay uncle, big gay dad, grandpa to my dog. I will love him till the end of time.
Right. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, Jim Moore, welcome aboard, buddy.
I
We'll
figured it out.
start. You're next. How did you meet Maris?
I first met Barris at our shows, actually. I think at the Bluebird, because he had a pink mohawk and he was just awesome and hilarious. And then I didn't see the Maris the Great, his Maris the Great persona till Isla Park Saloon. I went and saw, I think it was Love 45, I want to say. And then they did the whole Maris. It was like one of the first times he did it. And he comes running up on stage, and they had the pastor guy with a picture of a vagina, and they just have, I'm just laughing my ass off, like going, "Oh my god!" So then he runs out in the parking lot, and I run out with him. I go, "Oh, dude, that was awesome!" He's like, "You think?" It was so cool. It's like, so that was like the first time I saw the Maris, the great shtick. But Maris, yeah, the first time I saw him was at our shows because he'd come to our shows. And like I said, he had this big pink mohawk. It's pretty
Mhm.
awesome.
Okay. Okay, Rod, you.
Yes, sir. First time I saw Maris was at Jaime's, I believe, at one of our shows at Jaime's. And he had the pink mohawk and introduced himself. Very cool guy. And it was a little bit before, that was probably 99. before he started dressing up. So
Oh, so this
I
this
just
was
want to interject here real quick.
go ahead.
While Rob was talking, he had the biggest smile on his face nodding. I know how much Maris loved throat culture back in those days. I don't think there were many throat culture shows Maris missed.
And ask Maris if I'm correct. Back then, Maris had a purple mohawk, not a pink mohawk.
That's actually what I said.
Yeah.
The story to Maris.
Right. It was
Hold
purple
on.
back in the late 90s.
His
Purple.
greatness is about to speak.
So, hello everyone. This is Maris. I didn't settle on the pink mohawk until a certain point, and it did go through different things. It was purple, it was blue, and I ended up just keeping it blonde and spraying it pink because it was too difficult to keep up by dyeing. So, it started out different. So.
That clears up. Okay, Mike May, you're next.
Hey. Well, I knew Maris through Buzz. I remember him coming to the Buzz Bomber shows, and I think I remember Maris. I think you remember saying that Buzz kind of inspired what you did with the tutu thing, but I'm not sure.
Scott Dangle.
I forgot to click the button. I can't find it, but Maris is like, "Oh, can I talk?"
Hi, Maris.
And it's out.
You remember? I'm Mike Mayhem, Buzz Bomber in the M80s.
Okay, Buzz Bomber changed my fucking life, and I still remember being at Cricket on the Hill and watching them and going, "What the fuck? This is the coolest shit." And there was a very drunk lady who kept on hanging all over me, and she was getting in the way of my chi, my rock and roll chi, because I just wanted to tell you guys how much you meant to me. And to this day, I regret that I never killed you because I loved.
Oh, I remember we talked about being executed by you, but it never came to fruition. But thank you so much.
Maybe we should do a geriatric reunion just so Maris can kill you.
Okay. Buzz Bomber in the M80s was the only band I paid to go see who I didn't know personally.
Well,
that's the only band. I hope Mike takes that as a compliment. That's how well I thought of you guys.
I wish I could have gotten the other two on here with us, but
they
were unavailable.
Catalina Soltero, how did you meet Maris?
I met him at Cricket really early on, before most people knew who he was. He was really early on in the journey, and he kind of came and sat at a table near me. And I have to admit, like when he explained his whole deal, I was jealous. I was like, "Oh, that is so cool. That is not fair." I just thought like that was just the greatest idea ever. And so then we became friends.
Okay, James Brennan.
I didn't meet Maris until probably 2002 after he was full on into killing bands. The guys in Cronow knew him through Rogue, and they gave me a big warning before he showed up at one of our shows.
Yeah, if anybody needed a warning, it was going to be sweet James Brennan. That's for sure.
Scott Dangle.
I don't really recall the first time I met Maris. I know that I'd seen him around town at the Cricket and at different venues. I know the biggest impact he had, not only on me, but on my sons. I took my boys to a show at the Ogden Theater, and Maris came through the door, and I remember looking at my boys and saying, "Guys, that's Maris." And their eyes were about as big as silver dollar pancakes. And Maris just goes, "I want to kill your dad." And they looked at me like, "Oh my God, what is fucking happening right now?" And I remember one of them ran behind me, and Maris came up and sort of in my ear goes, "Oh my God, I hope I didn't scare them." And I said, "Don't worry, they'll be fine." They're going to be 33 this year, and they remember that moment like yesterday, which is so funny.
Nathan Salas.
So it's a mystery, and I'll tell you why. my mother worked at a place where it was nothing but gay and lesbian girls and boys. And she introduced me very early on to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I remember sneaking into the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Denver when I was 14 years old. And I wasn't supposed to be there, but I'd sneak in. And the mystery is that this was way before the makeup. This was way before everything. The mystery is, I guess I'd have to put the blocks together. So my question is, Maris, at any time did you ever attend a Rocky Horror Picture Show? I would say 92 through 99.
Wow. Okay. Johnny Bollock.
Up or anything.
So hold on. Maris has an answer.
Okay.
Yes and no. Everyone's went to Rocky Horror Picture Show and during that time, maybe, but not in makeup or anything like that. And
No. That's why I'm saying I met so many people, and you looked so familiar when I finally did meet you, like in your makeup and everything. And I believe it was early on, like Cricket on the Hill, the Gothic, a few times. But the funny thing is that I remember seeing you way before then. It's just my memory was so fuzzy, and I want to say that the first time I actually saw and met you and talked to you was at the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like after the Rocky Horror Picture Show at like a restaurant or something like that.
He says that's possible. I did want to interject one thing since Rocky Horror Picture Show was brought up. Maris pointed at me like crazy when you were talking about that, because I want to say sometime around 2005, 2006, I was actually on the Rocky Horror Picture Show cast, and we had a heavy metal night where I played Riff Raff as Rob Zombie. And I asked Maris, we were at the Oriental Theater just as it was becoming a venue at that time. And I asked Maris to join and just fucking be Maris the Great.
Right.
The rest has the clock on stage.
I mean, he was a fucking prop. I pushed him. That's what I'm doing a documentary. He was my bitch.
For sure.
But no, he did actually do Rocky Horror Picture Show one time as Maris the Great, just to add that in there.
That's excellent. Okay.
Cool. All right. Johnny.
I don't want to step on bullet point number 3 for our Zoom meeting, but the first time I met Maris was when I got killed.
Okay.
Big Butch Bill Terrell comes into band practice and says, I got to tell you something. We're going to be... And so I'll save the story, but that's when I first met Maris, was when he ate my face. Maris, you ate my face.
All right. There's a reason I had Murray going last. Murray, how'd you meet him?
Well, I feel like I got the pre-Cambrian version of Maris. It seemed like it was very early on, and I think it was outside of the ILF on like some afternoon show or something. I don't remember, but it's like this guy just shows up, and he's not all decked out like he was later on. And I could have sworn he had like a green or a blue mohawk and just kind of metal clothing. I don't know, but
I kind of remember a green mohawk.
Yeah, green. That's what I remember too early on.
Yeah.
I could tell he was definitely in character, but it just like, who is this guy? And then from that point on, I just started seeing him at every show. And I have old pictures of him being at the front of the stage in front of me at Drudgery shows, just staring or whatever he was doing and walking me, I guess. But, and then like every time I saw him, it was
gonna be like Jeremy from the video.
But that persona, it like increased every time I saw him until he was this just major force.
Okay, that rolls to my next topic.
No,
on the E list.
Hold on, Maris. You put Murray on the spot, and Maris demands his chance to talk about Murray.
Okay,
And
go for it.
Murray.
Actually, no, I'm not talking about that at all.
I love you, Maris.
I'm talking about Drudgery. I was new to the scene, and it was like a religious experience for me to get to go to metal shows, punk shows, hardcore shows. And Drudgery was a thrash band in the local music scene. I was like, get the fuck out. You, Murray, have a picture of me wearing blue fatigues, standing at the front of it. It was either a show, Bluebird, or the Ogden.
Yes, yes.
And I was just entranced because I'm like, holy fucking shit. And I was a fan of Drudgery. I had your 3 releases. I loved the focus. I loved the artwork on all the covers. And I was a fan. And I don't know at that point if I had started Maris the Great, but you're right. Each time you saw me after that, it was more intense. But I very much started as a fan. And
yeah, it was an evolution. It was definitely an evolution.
Yep. Okay, that's all.
Okay. Let me roll into the next thing. On the E list, then I get a post. Maris posts, my love shrine to Murray. And I'm like, oh God. Oh God. I'm just like, I don't know what to make of it. Murray and I hadn't really become friends yet, and I hadn't become friends with Maris. So I was walking at this from a distance. Then on Maris's website, he reveals the entire Drudgery catalog. He describes Strength Beyond the Pain as a quickie. The title track of The Path of Most Resistance, he describes it as him and Murray walking to a gay pride parade saying, "We're here, we're queer, get used to us." Then in The Lost Art of Dying, then he described Spent. He described it, this song is written and sung by Jeff. Who fucking cares? So, and I'm just like, okay. Now, Murray, I know we put you on the spot, and I want to hear Murray's reaction. Murray, how did you take this? It had to be free pub, but I'm just like, wow, this guy's not making any bones. He's, wow. Go.
Well, I found it flattering to a degree. And I definitely enjoyed that he liked Drudgery, but as far as the extra level of that, the attention he gave me, yeah, flattering, but to be perfectly honest, I think I was borderline homophobic as a teenager, and as a young adult and having more life experience, the more I learned how to accept different kinds of people, and it really is about getting the experience, because when you really get to know other types of people, you become tolerant of everybody, because you realize, hey, this is just who this person is. And and we ended up becoming friends, and I still talk to him every now and then. He'll message me, and yeah, it was so weird, because it was just this weird guy out there, and then suddenly it wasn't too long before he was bigger than anything Drudgery was, and most of the bands in the scene, and then he had this endurance about him that just, it kept going all the way to the present,
Maris and his affection
and everything else is just past history. What's that?
Maris loved you and your bald head back then. You were one of the few. Now everybody's joining you, but it was you and Devin and Jerry.
Maris would have fucked all of you boys back in the day.
Actually, he still would.
Get it up now.
Right.
Well, I do remember Maris always enjoyed that Marine Corps background of mine. That seemed to be something he was attracted to.
He's nodding. He wants you to semperfy his penis, Murray.
I guess maybe I was too feminine for him because we all know that vagina is kryptonite to the gay undead, and maybe I didn't have enough facial hair back then, so I tried to compensate so that it improved my chances.
Okay, Maris is ready to talk. I'm going to turn off video so he can see all your faces for his reaction, for your reactions.
Am I talking now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Maris.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So, okay. Murray is an attractive and powerful man now. Back then, he was fucking hot. And he just was a Marine bodybuilder. Get the fuck out. So, if you weren't attracted to him and you're not now, you're wrong.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
Here's my thing. I was trying to be a publicity machine, and controversy was the biggest tool I had to get attention. And I thought I was getting attention for the scene and for Drudgery, and I didn't realize it was on me, but I was like, okay, now you're looking at me. Well, look at this band. And it made sense that he would be a love object of Maris Grave, because a Marine bodybuilder everyone would think that's what a gay man would be into. And it's something I started with Drudgery, and I continued every band all the way up until last year when I did my final band, Edith. It just made sense. And so what I did back then, I was very clumsy with publicity. I just assumed everyone wanted maximum publicity. And so I would drag people kicking and screaming into the spotlight. And that's what happened with Murray. And he was resistant, and it's understandable. And I developed some finesse over the years. And if someone if they weren't feeling it, then I backed off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back then I was like a big gay dog that would knock you over.
Relentless.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Maris. Did you have anything else?
So I was responsible. I want to go on the record. I was responsible for two women fucking Murray, and you're welcome, Murray.
Okay. This rolls next, because after the Drudgery murder, that posted online, I think things started taking off for him. Then I see him writing for Throw Culture magazine. Rod, how did that come about?
It's your fault, Rod.
I have no idea. I really don't know. Maris always came over to my apartment in Glendale at the time. Did you drive back then, Maris? How'd you get over to my apartment?
He drove a Horizon with all sorts of bumper stickers.
And his car was all bloody.
That's right. That's right. No, I'm sure it just started out with he wanted to do wee reviews, right?
Mm.
I think that's how it started. And so he would review CDs in his own gay way. So it was pretty cool. I think that's how it started, right, Maris?
What's that?
The wee reviews, the CD reviews you did, that's kind of how it started with Throw Culture.
I think so. I think you published some of my murder photos also.
You did,
yeah.
They did, yes.
Because I know that's how I got involved with Throw Culture. Did one interview with Twisted because
that's right.
I think Chris was like, you should interview Twisted, and Rod was like, I don't want this bullshit in my mouth. He let it pass because his lead singer fucking pushed the button.
Probably, yeah.
And as Maris continued to do Throw Culture, Maris and Murray actually had a segment in an issue together where basically, Murray interviewed Maris. I thought that was very revealing, but then the switch pin review, which made me laugh so fucking hard. Then I see a little thing. I would like to thank Catalina Soltero for her assistance. Catalina, how are you of help to Maris in that regard?
So I met Maris kind of early on, and he didn't know some of like the death terms like lividity and some of the, some of those little corpse things that us serial killers like to keep track of. So and just kind of helping with the blood. I remember one time, this is before like Andrea got involved with photos and stuff, and he had a whole crew. So, I'd help with photos or blood or whatever, the severed foot in our hallway. I lived with Maris for 3 years. So, we just have body parts everywhere, blood stain. Jeremy, I'm sure you saw blood stains on the carpet, and I think there was like a swash of blood from like his costume brushing against the wall. So, yeah, just kind of general assistance, whatever he needed.
Sure. Okay. Now we're going to roll into the next one. We're going to, bands who got killed by Maris and those who died trying. I was definitely more of the latter. We're going to talk about murder experiences. James, we'll start with you and Crow now.
Yeah, it was pretty early on. I think I'd met Maris maybe once or twice before he killed us. And yeah, it was just a ton of fun. I remember it being an absolute mess. But yeah, it was really fun. What did he ate my leg. And then my favorite part of it, he killed us in Ted's basement where we were rehearsing. And my favorite part was in the story, Ted tried to escape out the window, one of those high little windows, and Maris ate his ass.
I was really bummed because I joined Crow Now after that.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. So was that you did. Okay. Jim Moore, you're next.
Oh yeah, no, Maris took it easy on us, actually. We had this whole thing with the vampire stick and all that. But I do remember we were at somebody's house up in north, like I don't know, Arvada or something, and we're just so sticky. And on the way home after the murder, I go through McDonald's parking lot and I'm just covered in blood. And I go up next to it, and they're looking like, "Are you okay?" And I grab the back and go, "It's cool, it's not my blood." And I drive off real fast. Like wait for the cops. I'm like, "Cops gonna call me."
That's awesome.
Hey, question for Catalina. Catalina, wasn't the Siren Project murder? Didn't the cops come?
I can't remember which band it was. For some reason, I don't think it was Siren Project. I think it was a band of all dudes. But yes, we had the cops called. We were doing it like on the streetish outside Maris's place, and sure enough, here come the cops, and we're just trying to like, hey, it's okay, he's fine. And someone was on the ground, and we didn't want them to move much because this was before he like was able to use like digital effects kind of thing. It was all raw, so we didn't want him to move and like mess things up. But we had to like assure the cops, yes, this is theater, it's all fine. And I did get killed, by the way, even though I wasn't in a band.
How come we didn't know about that? Can
About
Cassie
which?
hear us? Okay, Cassie's off camera. We'll catch her back when she gets back. Oh, Cassie's back. Cassie, when
Yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry.
That's right. When Rainie started working with Maris, were you allowed to attend the murder productions?
110,000%.
Okay.
I was also killed, and we'll go into this later on, but I was also killed in my own bathtub in my own personal home. So he was very cool with it.
Okay, Rod, you're next. Soul Culture, they got killed. How'd that go?
Yeah, we all loved Maris at the time. We were all friends with him, so it was very cool. With the meat and the fake blood. And I remember it, in my hair the next day. But yeah, that was a fun night. It was in our practice space.
Right,
So,
it was at the DAV. You were wearing an Offering 74 shirt. I remember that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You got a good memory.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, Johnny.
Rogue was not the first, but we were early on. I know Drudgery was killed before us. Moore was killed before us. Rocket Ajax, a couple of the others. But Rogue was early on. This ties into my story about how I met Maris. Bill Terrell comes into band practice at the DAV and blah, blah, blah. You guys are going to get killed next Saturday by this guy, Maris the Grey. I got to let you know, he's gay.
You do a great Bill Terrell.
Yeah, it's spot on.
I'm not as good as some, but yeah, I met Maris, the homosexual zombie, when he licked my face with bloody hamburger on it. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool. We were all cool with it except the guitar tech. Our tech, a guy named Jeff Hightower, who we'll talk about in another one of the bullet points.
Right.
Oh, Jeff.
Had an issue with it. But the rest of us were just kind of following Bill Terrell. He says, "You're going to do this, but they're not going to kill me because, I can't die." And so when they killed Rogue, they killed us in the band in the parking lot, and Bill was in the band room downstairs, the DAV. And the photo shoot had Maris kicking the door down and breaking into the Rogue room, and a bunch of females protected Bill Terrell. They were the vagina.
Oh, the Pussy
Patrol.
Patrol.
Oh, the kryptonite to the gay undead.
Maris, and they kicked him through the door. We took our door off and laid it down, and they kicked Maris down. And they were probably the only time he got his ass kicked. Other than that, he was eating at. He was doing the kicking.
Okay, this rolls into my next part, and Scott, be ready because I'm going to give you the ball. Rainie and Maris helped out with Deep Freeze Fest, something Keith Spargo and I came up with at Pinkies, and they were a great assistance. And for the fourth one that headlined Flotsam and Jetsam and Jack Panzer, Maris interviewed all the bands on the bill 1 through 8, and one of them was SFA, which we wanted SFA on one of these, and they were good enough to come. I remember there was a brief interview between Marilyn, Scott, and Maris, and Maris's first question was, "Marilyn, you're a babe mortal. Would you consider doing lesbian porn to funding the band's activities?" My ribs exploded. I couldn't believe he had the audacity to ask, and she's like, "You're a genius, Maris. Great idea." No. And Scott's like, "No, she ain't that way." But Maris,
This looked really
aside from Buzz Bomber and the M80s, you should have killed SFA. You should have killed them. Matter of fact, after that, I even gave you an email, said you need to kill SFA based on that interview alone. I envisioned
has an answer for you.
So,
okay,
Marilyn.
But here's how I envisioned it. I envisioned that Scott, Bill, and Brett could just be triple impaled. A triple impalement, get out of the way. Then Maris would try to hunt after Marilyn, but Marilyn would lose like magic spells and dispel him, the power of the vagina. Then Maris would summon the undead lesbians of doom to go after her in the middle of the night. That would have been spectacular. Maris, you didn't take my pitch. Go ahead, sir.
So I thought Marilyn was beautiful. I loved SOV, and I thought she was just wonderful. I loved it. They didn't stay together long enough for me to be able to connect with them and kill them, but I would have loved it.
Okay, Scott, what do you got?
Well, I know that Maris and I might have touched base on a potential killing, and when I approached the band about it, Marilyn was okay with it. She got the stick. I don't think Brett and Bill really did. And so they were pretty hesitant on the whole thing, which was fine. I mean, I understood it. Later on, when I got wind that he was putting together this Halloweenie thing, and they were going to do a Rocket Ajax cover of Thriller, somebody asked me if I wanted to help out or whatever. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do that. So I put on my Rogue shirt. I went to wherever we were doing the filming and got all made up and had blood and shit all over me as well. And I think I rose up behind some tombstones or whatever and did my zombie walk into my infamous nothingness. I do want to also say that at the end of all that, on my way home, I have a story very similar to Jim's because I popped at a McDonald's on my way home from that, and those people in the drive-through lost their fucking minds. They didn't know what the hell to think or if I was okay. And once I convinced them I was, and I got home, my wife knew what I was doing. She had no idea what I was going to look like when I got home, and my kids were concerned. They were like, "Oh, did Maris hurt you?" And no, he did not hurt me. Everything's going to be okay. But it took 3 fucking days to get all that shit out of my hair, out of my body. 3 fucking days.
Wow.
No.
Mike, they didn't, Barris didn't kill Buzz in the M80s, but, basically during that era, what was your rapport with Barris?
Well, we didn't. I think this is probably the first longest conversation I've ever had with him, aside from a couple of emails, because we did a reunion in 2006 where I asked Maris to introduce us at the Cricket on the Hill. I think that was 2006. But we always said hello. I mean, he had those big claw hands, and I remember him grabbing my ass when he was introducing us on stage, which was fine with me. That was a nice compliment. What can I say? He was always a really nice guy. Always said hello, even if he was like, "Hello, mortal," and ass grab, whatever. Nice guy. Right, Maris? We were always cool. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. In my band, when we finally got our singer, Brian McEwen, like Murray, Brian was military. Murray was a Marine. My vocalist was in the Army, and a very good-looking guy. And I made it no doubt my point. I was going to take every opportunity in my interactions with Barris, kill our band. I have no qualm saying probably, Maris can chime in here. He'd be in a position to know because I'm sure a lot of people said, "Hey, come kill us." I had to be at least in the top 10. What in my opinion be knows kill, depth, charge. Kill, depth, charge, and I was willing to do just about almost anything to do it. And I flashed my chest to Maris many times. And I have no qualm admitting that.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
think you're.
remember that.
This is indeed right. I think he's remembering how your chest looked 20 years ago.
I don't know, but to me, it was never. I don't know that Maris was much of a chess guy as much as that he liked the bollocks.
Right.
He did not like shaved butts, but his big thing is he liked the package.
That's it. Yeah,
he wanted the wee wee. In the immortal words of Maris the Great, get that wee wee.
I mean, he would tell me that every day.
He's talking now.
So if things got so crazy for me with so many people wanting to die that I look back and I'm like, why didn't I kill Depth Charge or different bands? And I don't know. I don't remember, but nothing personal or anything. I regret it.
No.
You were busy.
Maris, you turned into a great friend.
You were always so busy with all your killings. I mean, there just wasn't enough time to do everyone.
There was a lot of great bands, and I remember, you had to be a good band to get killed by Maris, and it's one of the reasons why I was always so super bummed that I never got killed by Maris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Occasionally I had to deal with a band who was giving me maybe mixed signals, or I was picking up they weren't into it, and I don't know. But anyway, I regret any of you that are not dead, I regret that I did not.
I'll forever be pining for the imminent immortality of being murdered by Maris the Great.
Right.
Jeremy, that's a great tagline for the documentary. Any of you who are not dead, I regret it.
It's the thought that counts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of you guys I definitely want to talk to, even if you're not dead. I messaged a couple of you privately already. As some of you, if not all of you, are aware, I am working on Merritt's documentary. I don't want to derail ties, so I'll talk
No,
about
you're not.
it.
You're not.
Okay. But I am working on Maris's documentary. This is going to finally be like, I think only a handful of you probably know Maris to some deep length. But this is finally going to be kind of like the unmasking of Maris, the Great, and to let all of you know who this man is that terrorized me as a 19-year-old juggalo working the door at the Bluebird.
Yeah.
That I chased around prior to HR issues and all that. Scenes in the office at the Bluebird, and I was a 19-year-old snot-nosed fucking kid, and I loved what he did, and I caught on in mythology rather quickly. First encounter, I chased him around the Bluebird with the centerfold of a perfect 10, and he hissed and clawed at me. It took many years after that for us to actually become close friends. We did the Rocky Horror Picture Show together. I had to pick him up near Cheeseman Park. I had to drop him off near Cheeseman Park. This man and his dedication to his legacy, his character, and more than anything, local music. I mean, he moved on to national bands, and I'll let him speak a little more on it.
Mm-hmm.
But his heart was with Denver music, and we all got to experience his birth at a very special time. Like I said, I worked at the Bluebird in the Ogden. Like, there was never another time in Denver history where I saw people of all genres. And when I say all genres, I'm saying punk rock, hip hop, metal, country, Calemesis, the Latin funk band that we all know. Everyone supported one another, and it was fucking beautiful. It didn't matter where you came from, and that's where Maris was born out of. And I messaged Murray earlier. I for the documentary, I appreciate the willingness to accept your personal homophobia in your younger years. And that's what I'm looking for, because I feel like in a lot of ways, Maris broke ground for all of us in the metal and heavy music community. And he was everyone's worst nightmare. Anyone who was scared of gay guys, he was our worst fucking nightmare. He was trying to fuck all of us.
Right. But, hey, we'll touch on that a little bit later there, Jeremy. But
yeah, no, Maris definitely has pushed some boundaries, and I think he's moved a lot of hearts.
Agreed.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ty.
Yep. All right, go ahead. We're going to go back to shows. As I said earlier, when Maris, took a break in 2003, took a couple of months off, and his return show at Pinky's was the largest grossing night ever. We were not in a position to tell Rainie no on anything. Whatever they wanted, they could get, and we wisely did that. The Bite My Halloweenie series in 2004. Okay. The original lineup in 2004 was a complete heavyweight. It was Switchpin, Brutal Infliction, Synthetic Delusion, Aggressive Persuasion, Sickbox, and Mason Eye. None of them were lightweights. Then the Bite My Halloweenie came. Then that's what, that they had the headliners as Assisted Suicide Assembly and Ain't Matter, who I rehearsed with over at Sound Structure. Then 3 out-of-town bands. That drew about half. It was still a good time. It was still profitable. None of whatnots. But Maris and Rainie, to my boss, has set too high of a bar the first time around. But did anyone play a Bite My Halloweenie show, or did you play with Maris at the Fat City debacle?
I'm not saying shit over Fat
Union Underground Fat City, I played.
Because I recall right, Maris said Maris said I came there in a limo and I left in a cab.
Maris will share some of the Fat City debacle at some point whenever you guys are ready, but everyone else share theirs first.
Yeah. So I just like, well, that was interesting. So we're gonna roll into the next subject.
Well,
Next,
Maris wanted to say something about Fat City.
okay, Maris, do it. Maris.
You're unmuted.
Okay. It was, looking back, it was rock and roll. Rock and roll, it's always a catastrophe. Something goes wrong. People don't show up. Someone ODs. And that was all of that and the above. And it was a learning experience. And at the time, I was kind of traumatized because so much shit went down. And now I look back and go, that was just a Tuesday in a week of rock and roll. It was what it was.
I remember there was a small group of us gathered outside of the DMV. I think James, you and I were there, and we were talking about it and going, "What happened? What was what? You know, like it was such a crazy thing, and then like rumors spread it, and before you knew it, you know, the fish gets bigger or smaller depending on what side of the story you're on. And so yeah, it was definitely an interesting time.
Yeah. All right.
Can I say something real quick, Ty, about
go for it, Rod.
By My Halloweenie.
The first one. The Gothic
Theater. The first one. Gothic Theater, yep. Who was it? Burn Circuit,
Throat Culture. Cerberus was on it. Fuck. There was like 4 or 5 bands. There was like 5 bands, I want to say.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
Nicaraguan Death Squad.
The headliners for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
now, that rolls into Cassie. You know, Cassie, how much of that was Maris? How much of that was your mom? And how much of that was you forming these shows? How much was that?
I'm so sorry, Ty. What was the question one more time?
The question was this. For the Bite My Halloweenie shows and other similar shows, how much of that was Maris? How much of that was your mom? And how much of that was you in terms of forming it, promoting it, and all that jazz?
I mean, I was a little child then, so my brain was still kind of forming. So I feel like none of it was me, but I could really appreciate it. I want to say it was 75% Maris and 25% Rainie.
Right. Okay.
The first Bite My Halloweenie actually occurred prior to Rainie entering in the picture. That was the brainchild of Maris with, who was it that promoted it with you?
Me.
It was just Maris. So Bite My Halloweenie was actually founded. Rainie definitely added so much flavor to it, but Bite My Halloweenie was Maris's original brainchild in 2000, and I believe Rod Brown definitely had a large part in playing with promotion and stuff through Throat Culture, if I'm not wrong.
No, I think it was actually Uncle Nasty. We went on the Uncle Nasty show. Remember that, Maris? He promoted it.
Yeah. Yes.
And then, do you remember what you did to Catalina?
Yes, on stage. She came on stage and banged her head, and she introduced my band, mock-up of my band, which was Love 45 and me doing a version of God of Thunder mixed with I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. I went to Uncle Nasty's show, and to this day I'm grateful for the publicity that he gave me, and yeah, it was phenomenal. And Catalina on stage.
I was inside a body bag. It was very interesting.
We love you, Catalina.
What's that?
You were pregnant or something, weren't you? And he pulled a baby outside of you. What happened in that? Do you remember that?
Well, no.
You don't? What happened with that? With Catalina?
Hold on, Maris wants to say something.
Okay, the other promotion was Catalina Denver Music Plus. Her website at that time was the shit. She was minute by minute what was happening in the scene, and I still remember how exciting she made the show sound, much bigger than it actually was. And she says it's going to be X-rated, and There was controversy, and it was, oh yeah. Denver Music Plus, I miss to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna be back soon. It could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna roll into how our interactions with Maris and either A, did your significant other have a problem with it, or B, did other people have a problem with it, or you were cool with it, but some of your bandmates didn't. Here's an example for me. I remember after we got Brian as our vocalist, and Maris relented because I pressured him so much, come see my new vocalist. The next day after the show, I'm with my girlfriend at the time. We're watching Third Rock from the Sun. My phone rings. I'm like, hello. And it's like, it is I, Maris the Great, in a normal voice. First time. I'm like, oh my God, Maris just called me. Said, what'd you think about us? Your singer's hot. Does he always wear wife beaters? He's so fucking hot, Ty. You gotta let me have him. Gotta let me have him. Then all the inappropriate questions started coming. Let's talk about your dick. Is it bad? Is it straight? Is it wide? All that. All this, my girlfriend is in earshot of all this. Then, but the big thing is I wanted to get killed by Maris, so I played along. Then the one thing that in the switch pin review, when he adds inches and subtracts inches on things he liked and didn't like about the record, switch pin had one where it said women ruin everything -2 inches. And it stuck
His
with me.
smile just got so big.
I laughed my fucking ass off. And I just said, hey, Maris, I think an important time. Okay, Cassie, interject. Go ahead.
I'm being compliant and raising my hand, like you said, Ty. So I think where I can interject with this, knowing Maris for, oh my gosh, like over 20 years at this point now, he's seen me go through a lot of boyfriends. And luckily for me, I dated a lot of artists and musicians. But I remember that there was one gentleman, and this is like when Maris wasn't as active. He's like, I don't understand what the fuck is happening. Like, what are you doing hanging around with this person? I'm like, this is my fucking family. Like, I don't give a shit. And obviously, we did not work out at the end of the day. But I will honestly say almost every relationship I was in within this time frame, everybody loved Maris.
Right. Let me continue. I appreciate that, Cassie. Thank you very much. Okay. Then I just said, Maris, something's come up. I think you and I need to have a discussion about this. It's very important. It's a topic that concerns us all. He's like, what's that? Women ruin everything. And he started laughing his ass off. He's like, yes, and they do. And I'm just kind of like, you know what, Maris, if there's a situation where a woman could ruin potentially something, should I bring it to your attention? And can we right the wrong? He's like, you can count on me, Ty. And and on our phone conversations moving forward, I would end them. I'm like, Maris, before I let you go, I just need to remind you, women ruin everything. And my girlfriend at the time got so pissed off. For reasons unrelated, we broke up. But I didn't care. My mission was get Maris to kill me, and I'm willing to play the ball it takes to get there. It didn't, but I had fun. Did anybody have a similar experience?
Maris has his hand raised. I figured.
All right, Maris, do it.
No,
I don't.
He was smiling the whole time.
I'm smiling, but I no. Go on, please. Go on.
Okay. Are you telling me in this room outside of me and Cassie, there is no one that had a significant other get jealous or uncomfortable by your interactions? Really?
So Ty, I none of my significant others came to see me play because they didn't care.
That sucks, Nathan. That sucks.
Well,
but I would be there with other band members that were in either my band or other band members that were in other bands. And if they would see him coming, they would grab me and say, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go the other way. And I never, Maris, I loved Maris. And I was so jealous of what he was doing because I'm a huge Monster fan anyway. And so to me, it was, I didn't want to bug him.
Mm-hmm.
But I left him alone because this is not a persona. This is Maris the Great. and you one does not just simply, take up his time. He will come to you if he wants anything to do with you. But the other band members would run and like I could see them, and if I didn't go, they would just run up the stairs in the Bluebird or the Gothic or wherever we were just to get away from him. So
Well, and for me, you got to figure in my whole world. I mean,
Okay, hey Jim, let Maris talk, and we'll get back to you.
Oh, no, do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Actually, it was me. So
Well, then you, Jeremy, go for it. Go for it.
I've had two different ends of the spectrum with girlfriends.
Okay, do
One
it.
girlfriend is actually Maris's fucking seamstress. He makes all the most gorgeous fucking costumes that you see that Maris has worn from 2009 until now. Her and I aren't big fans of each other. However, my mother's daughter hated Maris. Hated Maris. She called
I
it.
hope you mean your daughter's mother.
Oh, I mean a cunt that I used to be
You
with.
said your mother's daughter, which would be your sister.
Yeah.
it was a little confusing.
My daughter's mother. Sorry. Thank you, Catalina.
Okay.
Goddamn fucking
What's in that glass?
editing. Sorry, I was pretending I was from the Appalachian Mountains for a minute.
Clear that up.
Anyway, my daughter's mother absolutely was jealous of my friendship with Maris because honestly, if I banged big, hairy, old, fat assholes, Maris would be my person.
Yeah.
I love him. He is my best friend on this planet. But she hated him. She dropped fucking terrible comments about him, said terrible things about him, just to hurt me. Not because of who he was, but because she was uncomfortable with who the fuck she was. But no, I've had both ends of the spectrum. Super supportive, and that woman I probably should have stayed with. Because to this day, she still makes the costumes for Maris, and she's a fantastic human.
It's pretty bad.
That's all I can say.
Right.
Hey, Ty, I have something I could add.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Scott, you raised your hand. Scott, let
Jim
go first. Let Jim go first.
Just really quick, I just wanted to say, Lisa understood what Maris was doing as far as the promotion aspect of it. She got the whole thing. I know she wasn't a real big fan of Maris after I fucked up that bathtub for 3 days. She did really appreciate what he did and the artistry that went into the interviews that he did on the website. Jesus Christ, it wasn't not even 6 months ago that I showed a website to a kid that I worked with after I explained to him who Maris was. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. So I showed him Maris's website. He's like, Jesus Christ. You know this guy?
I love showing people his website.
Yeah. All right, Jim, go ahead. You had something.
Now for me, my two significant others over the years, I mean, it just fit right in. I mean, you got to figure like I'm flying out of a coffin and pull bloody hearts out of roadies on stage, and so everybody's like, "Maris are great." Well, of course you're friends with him, duh.
I know this isn't.
Why wouldn't you be?
I know this isn't the reason why we're all here, but Jim, I just wanted to say, man, it is really good to see you, dude. I remember playing shows with you way back when I was in regional conflict, and we just I love vampires, I love monsters, I love all that stuff, and you were always very inspirational, and your band was just awesome, and it's really just amazing to see you.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. I'm like, oh.
I love the sentiment around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have a question for James. James, are you telling me, when I shared with Maris, two good-looking guys like us, are you telling me you didn't have one phone conversation with Maris asking about you or your girlfriend? Nothing?
I had plenty of conversations with Maris. I never had a significant other. I had lots of insignificant others. And Maris always took credit. Whenever he'd see me with a new girl, he'd be like, I scared away the last one. And he got jealous that I kept finding new ones.
That's what I'm looking for. That's the shit. Okay. Okay. Maris, did you have anything? Jeremy, Maris, anything else before we move on?
I'll help out Maris. Hang on one second.
Ty, remember I had something to add to this.
Yeah, please. Please. Go ahead, bud.
Right there. See?
So I met my wife near the end of Drudgery's time, and she was always really cool with Maris. Didn't have a problem with him at all. But what's going on there? But I don't know. I think most of my time in the Denver music scene was spent like getting dumped by girlfriends. And I can remember a couple times when Maris was actually a really good counselor during those times when my heart was broken. And I just want to thank him for that. Because I really remember him helping me getting through that.
He was just trying to get close to you.
Yeah, that's what James knows from experience.
It doesn't matter. It worked, and it helped me get over my broken heart. So I
awesome.
I remember that about him.
Maris wanted to be there for the makeup sex.
Now.
Okay.
All right. Speak.
Okay.
We are going to last topic.
James.
All right.
Yes.
When
Hey,
Maris
Maris.
emerged, when Maris the Great emerged in 2000, there was just 2 years away. It was 2 years, after Matthew Shepard got brutally murdered in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody is familiar with that?
Oh,
Homophobia was alive and well. And for me, Matthew Shepard's murder, needless, started chipping away at my homophobia. Someone saying, this isn't worth someone getting killed over. Then Maris, then doing that. And I will admit, the Maris Murray chapter, it's like, okay, if this is good enough for Murray, this is good enough for me.
Right.
I worked up the courage, tell my cock's 11 inches long, look at the pinky stage. And I remember at that first, the comeback show, he's behind the curtain. And I'm going to the office getting something. And this is the first time him and I ever talked one-on-one, alone. And he's in full character. Hello, Ty. We're finally alone. I'm like, did I take this too fucking far? Holy shit. And the office is right next, behind the curtain and all that. And he starts following me. He starts coming in there, and I'm trying to break change and other whatnots, and then open up. And he's just following me. He's going, rah. Then David Tallarico, my boss, enters the room, and Maris is like, "You have ruined a necrophiliac moment." I remember doing that. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't know what to think and all that, but I just doing that. I know he didn't kill my band. I got a great friend out of it. And Maris really was a huge factor in my homophobia going away. And I will forever thank him for it. I have family and friends with LGBT, and I will directly credit Maris really showed me he wants to rock out just like the same way I do. He just happens to be gay. And at the end of the day, who fucking cares? I would like for everyone to have their chime in. Who wants to go first?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, Mike, go.
Maris, I'm in that movie, the Laramie Project.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm for like right at the 1 hour mark. I'm one of the funeral goers.
Oh.
What do you call them?
Yeah, and it was cool. I spent about 4 hours on set, and they just kind of filmed me getting rained on by a fire hose to add to the effect. But yeah, I thought you might like that. But yeah, that's about all I got for that. So
okay, all right.
Ty, I got an interesting one on it. It's not my significant other, but my roadie in my band, Jeff Hightower. Maris, I don't know if you remember Jeff Hightower.
I remember Jeff.
Very well. Yeah.
Fairly, no, I don't even say fairly. Jeff's homophobic. Rogue was okay, but the roadie was not there. And the grace that Maris showed in solving the situation with Jeff's issues was spectacular. I don't know the story as well as Maris might if he feels up to telling it, but Maris winning over Jeff Hightower was spectacular, taking someone who's very opposed to the lifestyle and turning the situation into a very positive situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
think wants to actually answer on that one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Jeff and I are friends. I talked to him 2 days ago. He is into spirituality and has been sober, I believe, for 6 months. And yeah, so we're friends.
Yeah, grace comes in many packages, and that was one of them. That was handled with as much grace as I've seen from a bunch of metalhead, punk rock, crazy ass stoners.
But John, my question for you, and I'm gonna start going after everybody on this. We'll start with you. Did he affect? Did you have homophobia before, during, or during with Maris? Was he a factor in it going away, or did it not?
I didn't have a thing. I got to tell a little story. This was not anything about Maris's sexual preferences. Maris asked me if I had an issue with being on Pornhub. One of his videos crossed the line into Pornhub distribution. And I go fag. I had to raise my hand and said that I'd lived my life with a lot of bad sex and never made Pornhub, and I didn't want to make it now. And I feel bad because that was probably the wrong answer. But not homophobia, but I had an issue with being on Pornhub.
Cassie, in this era, just growing up, with this gay undead uncle.
Yep.
I want to pay your mom a tribute. Your mom not just didn't help Maris, she helped the scene.
Oh,
She helped with
pretty
Pinky,
great.
me at Pinky's. She helped me as a person. I didn't get her dirty jurors thing right away, but once I got it, I'm like, God, this is the greatest thing ever. It truly is. And just, I remember just meeting you. You were really young. Somebody saying, in my top 10 favorite people in the music circuit, Rainie was in the top 10. I knew what to expect from her. Her 200 pounds was 200 pounds. She never moved the goalpost on me. I always knew what to expect from her. And somebody saying, it's like, Cassie, your mother was magnificent.
Oh, thank you so much. She's the best, and I can only hope that I am somewhat of a glimmer of her. And as I'm getting older, I am turning into her and Carmela Soprano just a little bit more each day. And what I do want to say is, so Maris and Jeremy are still here. His iPad did drop off, so if there's anything you need to reiterate, I'm here. But yes, so thank you for saying something about Rainie. That's really nice of you.
Well, doing that. All right. Final thoughts. Murray Neal, you go first.
What's the question again? Sorry.
Question is again. Did he change your view on the LGBT community, homophobia, anything of that sort?
Yeah. I mean, I was never hardcore homophobic. It was just a thing that I didn't understand because I didn't have any experience with. So getting to know him and just enjoy his whole spectacle and being a part of it at times just made he's just another person, and he was a really good person, and I just it was that life experience that I need to just get over. I don't know if it's a fear of the unknown or it's just being ignorant. I was just ignorant because I didn't have that experience of knowing anyone in that community. So yeah, I mean, hey, let's put it this way. There was a gay couple in my wedding party. So, yeah, I think he was an integral part of getting over any of that ignorance that I had.
Sure. All right, Nathan Salas.
I was very lucky. My mother, like I had said earlier, she had a very soft spot in her heart for a lot of the little gay boys and gay girls that she worked with. And she would bring these kids home that just were being exiled, or their parents kicked them out, and they just wanted to be loved. And I never developed any of that kind of prejudice. I never developed any of that for the gay community. And so with Maris, I'd go and see Waters films or Divine films and all this stuff. And I was very much a part of the artistry and things. I loved, hanging out. I had friends and stuff.
Nathan, hold on just one second. Let me stop you right there. Cassie, interject.
President is here.
Oh, actually, Nathan can finish. I can totally say what I'm saying. When
Okay,
Nathan's
go
done.
ahead. All right, Nathan, go ahead.
So I never developed any of those kind of apprehensions, and I'm as straight as the day is long. I've got six grandchildren. I've never had any, but being in the scene with him and seeing him do what he did so effortlessly, outwardly effortlessly, and having him do it as he did, and he never missed a beat. He was very quick, he was smart, he was, all of these things. And he was a great, I think if anything, he was just such a great leader in the community, whether he realizes that or not, that not being kind of an outsider looking into that community as kind of an insider by proxy. He was just as influential as Divine, just as influential as some of these other cornerstone characters. Only the way he did it was very unique. No one to this day has done what he's done. And, it was an honor to be a part of that little sliver of time for all our bands and all of us to have been kind of in the scene as this was going on. And so, yeah, I never had any problems.
A huge pillar of support, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a nice way of saying it. A huge pillar of support.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was just always
Let me get around to
fascinating
everybody. Let me get around to everybody. Cassie, go ahead.
Oh, so before I kind of jump in, Nathan, 6 grandkids. I'm very surprised. Would have never guessed that at all.
Thank
You
you.
look wonderful.
Thanks.
But kind of going into, so Ty, you were saying so many nice things about my mom, and thank you for that. But just going on the topic of this question, I feel like in a weird way, I don't know a life without gay people, to be totally honest. I grew up like in the theater community, and I've been doing theater for so many years. And I grew up with Maris like as a very prominent figure in my life at a very young age. And a lot of people in my life are a part of the LGBTQ community. And so, if anything, I have never felt any way, shape, or form uncomfortable with him.
Sure. Okay. All right. Scott Dankel, final thoughts.
Yeah, I was kind of a troubled kid, so I did some away time from my family in group homes. So I knew kids that were gay and had trouble, and I never had an issue with it. I more found it kind of humorous, I guess, in a way, because I didn't understand it either. But when I met Maris and got to know him, talk to him, and like Mike said, you could see the passion that he felt for the metal community, the rock community, just the scene in general around Denver. And so again, I got sort of the humor aspect behind it. But no, man, people are people, and I raise my boys to be the same way, and so I kind of reflect that as a badge of honor to have known Maris again, like Nate said, in this small little sliver of time, where, damn, Denver was a special place back then. It
Yeah.
really was. And
It was. Yeah.
and even talking about it now, man, I've got kind of some goosebumps going on my arms because
Amen, brother.
you putting this together, Ty, and having Maris and everybody sitting here all across the country and the world just is a testament to what Maris gave to the community, and not only the metal community, but the LGBTQ community and everything that he's done from then till now. I can't commend him any more than that.
No.
Okay. Cool. Rod Brown, you're up.
I got two quick things. I think that Maris helped bring out a lot of guys that were in the metal scene that were maybe gay or bisexual. I know behind the scenes guys would want to do stuff with Maris. I don't know if they ever did, but anyways, no, I thought that was cool. That just like Rob Halford had to hide it, I'm sure a lot of metal guys had to. And I think Maris helped bring that out. That there was a lot of gay guys in the metal scene. The other thing is, recently I saw Maris's. He has a wall of dicks, and I think that he's got to start a wall of small dicks, and I'll be the first to send you a photo, Maris.
Maris takes all comers on those dick pics.
Oh boy. On that note, Jim Moore, you're
Comers,
up.
literally.
Jim Moore, final thoughts.
Oh, yeah, for me, I've always been fairly androgynous my entire life, and always worn makeup, had long hair, confused the shit out of people. I can't tell you how many times, like me and both my wives, that come up and guys that come up behind and go, "Hey, you want to dance?" And I always turn around and go, "Only if I can lead." And they're like, "Oh." Especially with Amy, they'd come up to me and Amy, they'd be like, "Hey, I want to buy you ladies drinks." And I turn around and she would get all pissed off and I laugh. I'm like going, "All right, that sounds good." They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And they start to walk away. I'm like, "No, you promised us drinks, fucker." And they pay for the drinks every time. I mean, I've always, been nonplussed by gay people. I mean, I remember in high school, I was in drama, and all the gay kids, I'd have to protect them from the football players because they'd be all freaked out about it. They didn't use the word gay, but they did, and they come running out into the smoking area. Jim. I'm like, "Oh, hey," and they're like, "Oh, metalhead." So yeah, no, I've never had a problem with gay people. I've always had gay friends. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, let's get a drink. Like, "Oh."
James Brennan.
I really don't understand phobia for myself. I'm like, "Oh, so what are you afraid of?" Afraid you're gonna like it? I don't know.
All right, James, you're up.
Yeah, look, I never had any kind of issues. I actually used to enjoy flirting and teasing Maris. I thought it was fun.
You would drive him crazy, James. Oh my God.
Okay. Mike Mayhem.
Oh hell. I don't. My daughter's bisexual. She actually came in with my granddaughter just a minute ago, and I don't care. You are what you are, dude.
Right.
Maris, I've always loved you. I always thought you were hysterical and entertaining as hell, and that's all that I care about.
Yeah.
I love you, man. I always have. I've always admired you. So,
Catalina Soltero.
No, I don't give a shit. The only time I care if someone's gay is if I'm trying to date him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Hi, Cat.
Because Catalina, my thing for you is that you covered the entire music scene, not just the metal scene. And Maris kind of didn't always do metal and other whatnots. Did he change not just the metal community? Did he change the impact the music community as a whole?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't pick out any bands or anything that specifically said something, but I think he really impacted like bands coming together from all the genres too, because he didn't just stick with one genre.
Right.
Okay. Now, on that note, Jeremy Atkins, Maris, final words.
I think John wanted
can
to
I
say
interject
something.
real quick?
Yeah. All right, John, go.
All right.
You wanted me to ask a question.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, Maris, this is for you. We've asked a lot of the people on the numerous Zoom calls that Ty has initiated. If you were to make your band from Denver, who would your what would your lineup be? Guitarist, singer, drummer. What would your ideal all-star Denver band from these years
be? No copping out either, like Nick Jackson last time, fucker.
I'll be honest, Maris gave me permission to answer for him. I'm recording his reaction for the documentary of Maris the Great. The number one Faggots of Death lineup was the 2007 Faggots of Death. We had Danger Dan, we had Brian Crowley, and we had Zach from As We Speak and Eyes Fall Open. That to me was the pinnacle of the Faggots of Death. No one since Brian, Zach, and Dan has been able to adopt those characters. Fagoria, Miss Hissy Fit, and
Faggoty Ann.
Faggoty Ann. That's right. Faggoty Ann.
Faggoty Ann.
That was Dan. Dan George.
Oh, there
right?
it is. There it is.
and who was that?
Was that Dan George? Sorry to interject.
Dan George, yes, Dan George was Miss Hissy Fit.
Miss Hissy Fit. Dan's still a close friend of mine. Yeah.
Zach Van.
Zach Van from he was from As We Speak and Eyes Fall Open. He was the most phenomenal drummer the Faggots of Death ever had. And I will tell you this: we were in Commerce City. We were filming a intro, and it was inspired by not only Maris seeing Kiss doing a similar thing, but me seeing it was Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre coming out on the Up in Smoke tour with Eminem. They had pre-filmed, they had pre-shot a like liquor store robbery or some shit. Came out on stage in a lowrider, like it was continuity from them saving the liquor store from the robbery. Right. So that was my idea behind this. And Ty, you're going to love this. We had to hold on. I want to see everyone's hands so I don't offend anyone. How many people knew Rainie? Okay. So all of us pretty much knew Rainie. We know how much we know she loved a certain word. Started
No, yeah.
Don't do it, Jeremy. Don't do it.
I won't say it.
Don't do it.
But Rainie fucking made the world turn round for Maris. And
agreed.
The world turned round for those of us who didn't know Maris prior to Rainie. We all love her. We all love Maris. Maris the Great is a staple in Colorado music. Mm-hmm. I saw homophobia as an employee of the Ogden and the Bluebird almost evaporate as a result of Maris the Great's presence. Can anyone disagree?
No. You can't tell the story of the Denver metal punk scene without Maris the Great.
There you go.
Great.
Agreed.
Can I ask one quick question before you wrap everything up, Ty?
All right, go ahead, Scott.
Years ago, there was a NAMM show when I always try to keep touch with people or whatever. And I saw that somebody had made a Maris the Great bass. And I want to know
in Maris's bedroom.
Is it really?
Awesome. Bedroom.
That's awesome.
How much do you want for that fucking thing? I want to buy it.
I'll own it once Maris passes.
No, that's mine, dude. That's
mine. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I shit my pants when I saw that. I was like, man,
Maris may have to just start a signature series.
This guy went fucking the Denver music scene to national fucking stardom, and now he's getting fucking guitars made after him. Fuck you, Maris. That's all I want.
Let us figure out when you're playing live next, and we'll make sure you can play it live.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God, dude.
Maris, anything else?
Yes. Can I speak?
Please. You're the
James.
last.
James. Crow now. When I met you, Sportsfield Rocks, you had a girl hanging on you, and I was approaching you to, I think, set up the Crow Now murder. And she was kind of being all huggy, and you're like, dude, this is Maris. And so she went off, and we started talking. You told me that you had this amazing growing dick. And that you wanted to do a video of her blowing you and for me, or let me watch. Yeah, you were going to let me watch her blowing you. And then you dropped it like, ha, 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 ha. I still am waiting.
He's such a tease.
That
With the
is such a
phonology,
tease,
man.
25 years later.
James, are you going to answer Maris?
Crickets.
James, you're muted. James, you're muted.
I guess
Still waiting.
James, Maris wants.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I'll have to ask my wife. I'll see if we can send you a special video.
Maris, you're aware that James is in Australia, right?
Way down under.
Very. I was kidding.
But it always kept you interested, Maris. You always would come around because you were waiting. So, you know, a little bit of teasing never hurt.
All right. I want to play a little game.
That's
like
all I have to say.
mix it up since we're rounding down.
Yeah.
How would all of you feel about being publicly rated by Maris, which will potentially, once Ty and I talk, end up on Maris's documentary and also on here, hopefully. But do you want to be rated by Maris? Show a thumbs up.
Oh. Rated? You mean their dicks?
The
Two thumbs up.
Way
up.
I'll give him a pre. I'll give him a pre-show.
On the screen. James, let's talk. Pitch your wee wee to Maris.
You'll have to get a wide angle lens, Maris. I'll have to see if I can find it.
Like an anaconda on a plate glass window.
All right, guys. All right, Maris, any final words?
That's it. Thank you for the love, everybody. Thank you. That was very,
All right, guys.